Okay, so this little presentation that you will receive a score on based on your response to it in this discussion post is just about what you could take next as far as computers go. The most difficult thing that I have to do within my basic computer courses is to try to wake up students that come from usually very rural areas how much computer skills they actually are going to need in the future, and trying to get them to realize that you're not wasting your time with this class. Every single thing that you learn in here will be useful later, maybe not directly in Excel or maybe not directly in Access, but those concepts will be used. And part of that is because students just don't want to believe it. They're just like, oh, computers, I don't know. I don't want to believe that I have to deal with that. But you do. And I'm surprised every single semester at how many people do very poorly on the presentation that I have you do, the discussion post that I have you do about computer related jobs. In that I actually state not only is there a lot of money in all those jobs, and it's this massively growing area, but most of the jobs you don't actually use computers any more than in any other job. And what I get is probably a quarter of the students respond with, well, people don't think that computer field is enjoyable or rewarding because it's boring and because you just have to use computers all the time, which of course in the video, I told them exactly the opposite of that. And so it's really strange that it's such a hard thing to break through to students to help them understand two things. Computer field is very rewarding and not boring. And also, guess what? You're going to use computers as much in your job as most computer related jobs. And those individuals I have that come into my class with work experience, they always back up what I'm saying. A lot of times people just look at their instructor and they're like, they've just taught their whole life. I was out there. I worked with people doing this kind of stuff all the time. I saw them get limited by what they wouldn't do on a computer. And I saw them using a computer as much as I did on a daily basis and dealing with people less than I did on a daily basis. And so trying to wake students up to realize you need to get as much computer foundation as you possibly can. And you need to really consider going into the computer fields, just because what's going to happen is you're going to go out, realize you're using a computer 90% of the time, and you could have been making a lot more money, right? Nursing is a big deal at EAC, right? Go for those high-paying nursing jobs, and I'm like, you can make just as much money with a lot less trouble, and not have to change people's bedpans and that kind of thing in technology. But oh well, that would be boring, and it's really not. But you'll find out as you go through life. So if you're interested in like what would I do next if I am trying to broaden out what I know about computers, what class would I take? So these are the classes that from 103 you may want to branch out from. CMP 113 is all about using operating systems. And so in that class, we spend 5 weeks in each of the different operating systems. And it's actually easier than 103 is. I'm going to tell you that. It doesn't have near the amount of assignments that you have to deal with in 103. And an operating system, of course, is what you deal with on a daily basis. I have students take that class because they realize, well, I'm going to have to use these for the rest of my life. So it would be nice to know what the heck is going on with them. So 113, CMP 113, not a tremendously difficult course. We do a lot of hands-on stuff in that. And then, of course, if you're going into business, really, you need to take Excel 161. Whoops, got that, dropped an L there. Anyway, so you need to take CMP 161 Excel. I don't teach that one, but it's just a whole huge semester length course over Excel. And the one thing I get from students that take 103, they're not computer students, but they come back, sometime and say hi, as they're like, you need to teach more Excel. I'm like, well, we have a whole Excel class. You just didn't take it when you were here. They're like, oh. Anyway, then if you're more serious like you're really exploring like maybe IT, information technology, computers is what I want to do. Then CMP, again, I told you about this. 155 and 156 are happening this summer. If you can't take them then, I'm actually offering it in the fall, but it won't be totally online, but I'll work with you. And then CMP 151, which is computer support, computer systems one. I put support on there, but it's computer systems one, and that's all about the PC, and that is a demanding one. That is, a lot of information. We do tons of labs in there, but it's a lot of information. One that I did not put down that I should have, so let me put that one down, is CMP 100. And CMP 100 is not just a simple little class. It's not a hard class, but it's all about computer careers within technology. And so we explore the history of computers, which I find fascinating. And then we take a look at, well, what kind of skills do you need? What education do you need? And what job are you going for? So we really look at careers. And I've had a lot of students tell me that the honest truth is that everybody should take that class regardless if they're in computers or not, because it really teaches you how to line up. This is what I want to do. So what bachelor's or master's or 2-year degree do I need? And how much am I going to make 5 years down the road doing that specific thing? Anyway, if you have any questions on this, then please send me an email or get with me and we'll talk about it. Other than that, we always try to work with people's schedules. So you may look at one of these classes and say, oh, I can't do it at that time. Always talk to the instructor because sometimes other arrangements can be made, and answer the questions that you find here. And have a good one.